Hey guys, so from the title, you can tell we're going to talk about God hearing conversations that we know nothing about. So I'm going to start with telling you guys, I haven't read the Bible. There's parts of it I have. I'm not a super religious person. I believe in God. I believe in the power of prayer. I have reasons why I believe in the power of prayer, but that's for another video. But I do believe not sometimes, that God will remove people from your life for a reason. And this is not just about relationships. I wanted to say, I have notes, that's what I'm looking down at. I wanted to say this is about friendships, family members, and relationships. I've had people removed in each category, and I'm pretty sure that God was involved and that he heard conversations that I didn't hear. So one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up is because a lot of times we battle with why someone is no longer in our lives. We can't understand why. We're just like, I love that person, or that person was, a really good friend, or they're my blood, they're my family. Why can't they be in my life? I do believe sometimes the path that you're on, the journey you're on, they just can't be a part of that for some reason. They could have a separate journey that we just don't know about. And that could be why. That's what I believe. You can have your own opinion. I'm just telling you what I think. Also, like I said, sometimes what's in the dark hasn't come to light. You may not know what has been said or done behind your back. And because a lot of times we don't have the strength to let someone go. And that's something that is really big. So, story time. There was a person in my past who I could not let go of. Could not let go of. Like, I don't know what they could have done to me. Well, I do know now, but there was a lot that was done to me and I just could not let go. And one day I was sprawled out on the carpet, and I remember I was living with my sister at this time. My daughter was, I think, like 3. And I was sprawled out on the carpet, screaming, crying. I was there by myself, begging God to bring this person back in my life. When I say begging God. Yeah. Some of you know, you've been there. And I feel like God was like, okay, you dummy. Not dummy, but maybe you fool. Like, I'm trying to help you out here, but you're not getting it. So I'm going to need you to get it in a different way. And he brought that person back in my life. It was shortly after that, me crying and begging and sprawled out on the carpet for this person to be back in my life. Brought them back within weeks. When I tell you, the video I just showed you, I'm going to show you a video of what happened. Literally, or tornado. Like, I was just like, okay. And that woke me up. It was like snap of a finger. And I can't tell you the exact thing that happened that woke me up, but everybody does have a line that if you cross that line, they're most likely gonna, remove you from their lives. But sometimes if you don't get rid of that person, I feel like God steps in. And I feel like in that instant, God was like, I done showed this girl I don't know how many different ways. Okay, here you go. And flip my world, turn it upside down, and I learned. So part of that lesson also is learning that sometimes people are just in your life for a reason or a season, not always a lifetime. That is a very hard thing to comprehend when you care about someone, when you have a deep relationship with someone, when you feel chemistry, or when that person was your girl, or when that family member is like not a cousin, they're a sister. You know, when someone is removed from your life for whatever reason and they're still alive, we often question that. We don't understand it. But I think what I'm learning and what I'm understanding is that you have to sometimes sit back and think about what life lessons you got from them. Think about the personal growth that you may have from them. Think about the positive memories. There might be a lot of great memories. And I'm not saying this is easy by any means, because it's not. I'm going through that now with a breakup, having to, understand why, and just think about the good parts and the positive memories. Not an easy thing to do. But what I'm saying is that sometimes when you don't understand why, there's a reason why you just may not know right then. And I have learned that from a lot of different situations. I've been in a lot of situations. I can tell you some stories, and trust me, every time it's like, oh, okay, I see why this didn't work out, or I see why this person is no longer around, or I see why, God removed them from my path or my journey. There's usually some reason, you just might not see it right away. And I feel like you have to learn to trust God with the reasoning behind things. Maybe you guys have to grow up and learn some things. You just have to kind of sit back with it and not be so quick to be like, no, this person has to be in my life. Like, because I've been given several reasons for a person not to be in my life, and I still kept them in my life. Those red flags I talk about, I've ignored them. And so sometimes God knows me and knows what line you can't cross with me, and that line will get crossed, and that's what will make me remove that person with no hesitation. So I just feel like sometimes you have to trust the path, trust the journey. You have to kind of just embrace getting to know new people. Sometimes you can't hold on to everyone forever. Like I said, sometimes they're just there for a season or a reason. You're learning a lesson from that person. But holding on to someone who's not supposed to be there, it can ruin your path, I think. A lot of the times it can. It can make things, like I said, God brought that person back in my life that I was laying on the ground, praying, hoping that I wanted him back in my life, brought him back, turned my world upside down. So you never know. You just don't know how things are going to turn out if that person stays. And it can hurt when they're gone, but it can also hurt when they're there. So you have to kind of weigh, which hurt do you want? You want the hurt when they're there or the hurt when they're gone? Because I always say I can do bad all by myself. I can be miserable, happy. I can do it all by myself. I don't need another person to accompany that. So you just have to really sit with whatever it is you can get from that relationship, that friendship, that family member. Just really sit with it. And that's what I've been doing. You gotta sometimes put your hands up and just sit back and let things happen. You don't know what could happen. That person could come back in your life if it's not like a terrible, terrible situation. But maybe you guys both needed time apart to grow up or to grow or to learn. So listen, watch, and be okay with when someone is removed from your life. Understand that a lot of times there is a point and there's conversations that God has heard or things God has seen that you haven't. That's all I got for you today. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.